My name is Lizzie. Each week I'm bringing along a different origami fold, and that's to encourage you to take time out for yourself. We all need to be encouraged, don't we, to do that. Self-care is really important, and how to give yourself some time for your mental well-being. Consider this almost like going to the gym, but for your brain. It will be a challenge, it will be exciting, it will encourage you to persist, but most of all, I encourage you to just go slowly and enjoy what's possible with the simplest of materials, paper. It's what our civilization is so much based upon, and it turns out you can make amazing things through folding. So I have been inspired recently. I was looking, we're going to have a go at making this what I call a plumage star. So it's one of my own kind of findings, discoveries, designs, but it's inspired by other things as well, as all origami is. So really love this beautiful modular star, which maybe you've made with me previous weeks ago. The principle of it's really simple. There's like a little pockets and little prongs, and you push one into the other, and that's really the basis for most modular origami. It's a bit like glorified Lego really, but actually it's so much more varied. So it's often a pocket and something that you need to push in there in order for it to stay. So so this modular star, which is really loved, it's a bit unclear who has invented this, but because it's been so loved, it's been passed on. And also a traditional bird, which I just love. Again, this for densho origami, this idea of this heirloom that we pass it on from one generation to another. So I sort of combined the principles of the two. So there was a fold for making the bird, which I then thought, there's a little pocket and there's something you could push in. Maybe I could make some kind of a star inspired by this little bird. And I thought it was quite pretty and decorative, so I called it Plumage Star. Now, it's not hugely stable, so be warned, you have to be really gentle and careful with this. But in some ways, I rather like that about it. It's a bit of a balancing act, so you will find you'll have to go carefully. And it's not a robust thing, so you can't sort of shake it around or give it to somebody else. So it's just held in by little tucks. You'll find it brings a lot of concentration, and this is more of almost a little project. So I'm going to start you off, and you're enjoying it, and continue, and it will all come together. So I love this as a kind of a feeling of a sort of weekend project or an evening project, and it will come together. It will take time, but in some ways it's actually easier than folding the bird, but you have to make lots more pieces. So this is made of 20 little pieces, and you can see how it's a little bit like the tail, can't you? So I will show you how to do this. So it's a new piece which is rather exciting to share, and this is dedicated to a lovely colleague who requested this, so I'm delighted to share this with you. So a board and a piece of paper. Yes, and if you happen to have coloured paper, you can see it's rather lovely with colours. But actually, if you had to do it plain, you could do some colouring in first before you assemble it, colouring those points of different colours, so you can make it really unique as well. I love this combination of colouring and folding. So I will show you how to do this, and it will be it'll feel a little bit similar to the fold that we did last week with the bird. So I'm going to take a piece of paper, and I am going to make 2 squares out of this. So I will show you how to make 8 pieces, and if you want to make the complete thing, you'll need to make 20 pieces. So anyway, folding this in half, taking your time. There we go. So nice and exact. Little nick there. Put your hand close to the edge. Nice tearing sound. And we will make a square. So taking the corner, lining up down there. Again, take your time. That's what makes it enjoyable. And I recommend, just going slowly. It's not about the end product. It's just about enjoying this process of touching the paper and forgetting about everything else. So folding it in half along that diagonal line. Let's remove a rectangle. So turning it over, bring it back. Hopefully this will feel really familiar if you've joined me before. And if not, if it's the first time, then welcome, and you'll soon get the swing of it. Going to remove that rectangle, so a little tiny nick there, and then tear that off. There we go. One square, and I'll do the second square. Now, if you want to make the complete circle, this plumage star, then we need to make 5 of these squares, which will then be split into 4 each, so make 20 pieces. But I'm just going to show you 2, otherwise you may get a little bit bored watching me. And if you're making it yourself, you will soon get the hang of what to do. Bring this back, I'll show you how to assemble it. Yeah, if you are finding it's kind of by the end it slips out too easily, you can put in a little bit of glue, that's fine. You're welcome to. Japan, it seems that people are a lot more relaxed about potentially using glue if it's needed. But we'll just about stay together. Stayed together for me. I've hung it up, but just very gently. So a square, I'm going to split it into 4. Folding it in half. Again, I think what I particularly like about the module is this lovely feeling of building from little blocks. It's very pleasing that you've made yourself, and so each is a little bit, is quite simple, and actually you can make something complex together. But also I think because you're doing the same thing over and over again, there is a repetition to it, but it means then you're learning something, and actually that's the ideal way that we learn, is repetition. So you'll find by making this, probably by the end you'll have remembered how to make the pieces. So I've got 2 pieces there. So there's 4 from each of these big squares. If you want to do 20 pieces, then you need to make 5 big squares and split them up. I'm just showing you with this 8. 4 there. Let's do the other one. Go. A little nick there. But I've been finding so many different kinds of stars, so based on these very simple principles, I think once you start to understand it, then I've then applied basic understanding with just playing around, see what happens. Not quite knowing what's happening and feeling okay about that. It feels a little bit intimidating when you're doing something new, doesn't it? And particularly if you're attempting to come up with something new, you feel like you need to know what you're going to do. I don't. So I'm considering it like doodling. Don't know what you're doing. So we're going to do a diagonal line through each of these little squares. So that's the first step. Some of them already have a diagonal. Here we go. As I said, I think it's quite calming doing the same action over again. These have already got diagonals because of the way I've made them. So I tend to work in batches, which I find the most efficient for modular, rather than showing you and then doing it 8 times over and over again. I'm showing you all together. So I've done the diagonal line. The next step is to take the outside and bring it to the middle line. So you end up with something that looks like a kite when you've done it on both sides. I did it on one side, and then this side I will also bring to the midway line. So it should end up like this. So keep doing that for all of them. You just have to concentrate. When you're concentrating, you're not thinking about other things. I find that I reach for origami when I don't know, if I feel a bit down or I don't quite know what to do with myself. Then it's a really good tool to know I can relax and get absorbed. If you aren't happy with it, you can put it in the bin. It's fine. It's just paper. Paper is special, but it is quite plentiful, so it's not as if you're using expensive materials. So when I've been trying to find new things, I just have scrap kind of paper, so it just doesn't matter. I think almost don't use good origami paper at first, because I think it's a little bit off-putting. You feel like it's got to be really good, so a bit of practice, rough. It's like rough sketch. Then you feel less bothered about it, which is good. There we go. So if you made the bird with me last week, this is how it starts. I suppose it could be a little flock of birds, couldn't it? But we're not going to make each of these into birds. So at the moment it looks like this. And what you can do is this little bit that sticks up, just try and fold it back so it's tucked away like so. And then your next step is to take this side and we're going to bring it to this line. So like so. So this is just the same as the bird basically. This line and bring it up to this line. So this is what we're going to do for each of these pieces, for each of these 8 pieces. So it looks like that. I'm going to check each time you're happy that it's all lined up. I think getting it accurate will be quite important. Again, same thing. I've got this. I'm going to take this, fold it back. And then taking the side and bring it to the middle line. It's probably a bit like knitting after a while, that you're sort of doing the same kind of thing over again. At first it feels a bit hard. It gets easier. Okay, folding that back. Hopefully you're getting the hang of this yourself. Just consider me company while you're getting this side. While you're folding too, because you'll soon get the hang of it. That's why I'm not showing you 20. Well, it would just take a long time. Oh, and I just love these little patterns. I mean, isn't that a beautiful thing in itself? Okay, folding this back, folding that down. Okay. Oh, I do like those shapes. Probably other things you could do with this as well. I don't know what, but maybe playing around, maybe you'll find something. I think it's just keeping an open mind. Really, it's not. It also, the point is just whatever you find enjoyable. I was curious kind of early on, because mostly, so I am an artist, originally a scientist, whether origami is creative. And so what is creativity? So one definition I came across, which I thought was rather lovely, is being creative is to create something. So you do need to make something, which this is. And it has to be new to you, but it doesn't have to be new to the world. So when you're creating this, it's a new experience for you, and that's, you know, that's your own achievement. And yeah, so it is creative. So it's about doing something new, and I think it's, yeah, I think it's almost as well like in life, we're always a little bit scared of the new and the unknown, and I think of origami as a little tool to encourage you to embrace that you can do something new. It's a little bit, you know, there's acknowledging that it's a little bit scary trying something new. You feel like you can't do it, but given a kind attitude to yourself, you'll find that you can go slowly, be patient. No, you'll get there eventually, that kind of thing. And I think that's the same with anything new that you're having to learn, and life is always changing, there's always new challenges. So I think this is hopefully helping with your resilience too. Most of all, I think to try to remember to keep a playful attitude, which this is obviously all about as well. So, oh, don't they look pretty? I'm enjoying those shapes there. Let's enjoy what's being formed. Maybe it'll make you think of other things. So I'm now going to turn this to the back, and there's that a little bit, you can see it's a little bit like the bird. And I'm going to now fold it up. She says, no, sorry. I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it down after saying that. And you can see it's formed this lovely shape. Again, I just enjoy these shapes. And then fold it back. And what you've got there is a spike. So it comes back to viruses again, doesn't it? And you've got little pockets. So once you've made a second one, you'll be able to pop the prongs from this one into the pockets at the back. So that's the principle. It's not quite as a strong a ring as the modular star, but it is rather beautiful. So yeah, there we go. So again, taking that, so it's this side that we'd folded, turn to the back, and again taking this and unfolding up to the tip of that square. It's all about just enjoying these shapes and the little challenges of it. And you get so immersed in this, you really do forget everything else, and then folding it back. Right, let's see if one can go into the other. So with building, you need them always to be the same way round. And you've got prongy bits there and you've got pockets there. So it's these outside pockets. You have to really concentrate to make sure that you're really getting them in there. It's the kind of thing I can imagine your tongue's going to come out, because it is really tricky getting those in there. And it feels really nice and solid and strong, but by the end of the 20 it doesn't feel quite so strong, so you may have to assemble kind of flattish as you're going along. But that feels really good and sturdy. So, and it's just a nice, very decorative shape, isn't it? Right, onwards. So again, here at the top of the square, you can just take it, fold it upwards, and then on the back, this lovely shape. Again, try and be exact. It will make also the whole full ring will be better if you've done everything as exact as you can. Again, it's just good. It's just good persistence. And then folding it back. That's it. Again, you've got those little prongy things, making sure it's the same way round. So that's the slopey side. And again, pushing one into the other. There we go. It is assembling. And you can see there's a slight tilt to it. So there's a slightly turning. I found 20 of these was about right to give a full circle. Again, that square, folding it up. Again, making sure that you're happy, beautiful shape. Hope it's working for you. Okay, like that, folding it back. So there's the pockets on one side, prongs on the other. Next one again. Oh no, I almost put it in the wrong way around. That's not correct. Turning it around so it's the slopey side on the. They have to always be the same way around. That's it. Very nice, like a little Mohican, isn't it? That's it. Again, this little square, folding it up. And every Wednesday also sharing live folds. So if you happen to be free, you can go onto YouTube and you'll see me appear live, and there's a nice little friendly group of people who have been regularly joining me all through this time since lockdown, and they're always recorded as well, so you could always catch up after there, but it has a different vibe, I think, because I'm actually interacting with people rather than just chatting away at the moment to myself, but I am thinking that I am chatting to you. There we go, the square. It's about a little bit of company, a little bit of time, but just going slowly and relaxing, because I think origami is best shared one to another. Again, the next one, the same way around. Yep, it's the same way around. Have to really concentrate. There we go. Okay, a little slight tilt to it, but you'll just see, hopefully with 20 it will have come round enough. Circle again here. That's it. I find myself getting quite quiet with this because you just concentrate. Hopefully that's happening for you too. Makes it relaxing. Nice little pockets. Put that in the pockets. Concentrate, concentrate. Oh, that's it. Right, I've just got one more for my... Oh, they look a bit different heights, don't they? Interesting. I don't know why. I guess there's a little bit of variation. It's probably tearing up own pieces, but it's alright. It's what makes it lovable. There is no such thing as perfection. I think origami is very much playing with that perfection is possible, and I think it does give us joy to be able to make something ourselves that's pretty perfect, but it won't ever be fully perfect, and that's okay. I think it's accepting things as they are, doing your best with what you got. That's right. Folding it in half. And again, putting it in there. So part of the way there, we've done effectively 8, and you'd need to do another... I've suddenly forgotten. Another 12 to go. Yeah. I don't know why that's a slightly different size. Anyway, that's the idea. So I hope you can continue. You could maybe colour the little tips as you go along, and yeah, I hope it's just been a little bit of enjoyable time out. Consider it a nice little project. I'll be sharing, I think, a few more of these modular pieces. I know I'm desperate. I'm less often doing the animals. Apologies to those who enjoy animals. I tend to just get lost in patterns, but I feel as if I need to also share my own passions, because I think for all of us, you'll find the things that really get you excited, and that's important in order to pass that on. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and looking forward to sharing some more in weeks to come. Take care. Bye bye.